Welcome along. Nigel with you, Nigel's Modelling Bench. And here we are now with pack 30. This is now part 13, is it? I think it's part 13 of this build, and we're looking at pack 30 today. It looks like there's quite a lot in here when you look at the contents. There's quite a lot of screws and stuff. So this video is going to be just pack 30, and then I think the next video, part 14, we'll do 31, 32 and 33 because they look a lot simpler. Of course it may change, and I might change my mind at the end of this video, who knows. So, as usual, I'll look at the magazine first. If you want to get one of these, down below this video, in the description, directly below the video, there is a link. If you go and click on that link, that'll take you to the DeAgostini website where you can go and see, and also it lets them know that there's traffic they've gained through you watching me, which is great for me. Thank you very much. So, anyway, so here we are. So, in this magazine, this is pack 30. I've actually seen some of these in America. I can't remember where it was now. It was in Anaheim, in the United States, in California, Los Angeles, Orange County. You should narrow it down, Anaheim. And there was a guy that had some of these there, and he was selling lots of Shelby parts and stuff. And I saw a couple of these in there, and they are gorgeous. It was the first car that Shelby actually built from the ground up. Everything else he built was based on another car, like a Mustang or the AC Ace, wasn't it, I think. But yeah, beautiful looking thing, very, very rare, less than 500. Here we go, the Series 1 car. The Series 1 cars were delivered in 1999. The Shelby series remained on the market until 2003, and 249 units of the model were built. Only 249, and now Mr. Shelby's passed away. You can imagine they're probably worth a lot of money. So there we go. There's the that's what we're doing in here. We've got all these screws up, so there's going to be quite a bit going on. And then here, the Henry Ford Museum. Now, this is something I'd like to go and see. I've never managed to get in there. But the Henry Ford Museum houses many different types of cars and other vehicles, as well as iconic objects that have over the years played a part in the history of daily life in the United States. In this exhibit, the neon signs of a McDonald's restaurant is used for the backdrop for a 1956 Chevrolet Bel Air convertible. Funny they'd have a 56 Chevy in the Henry Ford Museum. Anyway, never mind. Just shows they're not biased, doesn't it? It's got an indoor area of 48,600 square metres. Wow. I'll have to go and visit. I'll have to see, like, jumping on a plane. So there we've got a DC3 in the museum as well. And then we've got a Model T over here. There's Bill Ford, William Clay Ford Jr., executive chairman of the motor company, poses in front of a Ford Model A, dating from 1903, and a poster of his great-grandfather Henry Ford, founder of the company. Here we go. Legendary Daytona race circuit. Wow. When NASCAR was men. That was when men were men and drove proper cars, not space frame carbon fibre things like they are today. They're still bloody good, but I prefer the old days. And here you can see some Porsche. I think they're 910s, aren't they? They're lining up or just coming across the finish line. Apparently they're the most successful building car at the 24-hour Daytona. One of Alex Jobs' racing Porsches makes a pit stop in 2013's 24 Hours of Daytona. Unlike other endurance races, this Florida event takes place in winter when the nights are at their longest. So yeah, fantastic. Right, let's have a look at what we've got in here. Look at me, it's still got the shakes. Look at that, I can't hold anything straight. So what we've got in the floor section here, and we've got some right-hand brake cable retainers. So we're going to have brake cables to fit at a later date by the look of it. So we've got brake cable retainers, and then the left-hand brake cable retainer. Then we've got the drive shaft protection plate. Yeah, this is a plate that goes to stop the drive shaft coming up through the floor if the UJ goes. Observe the mounting direction, so we're going to do all that, and then we're going to fit this section of the floor into this section of the floor here. So, big old brute this is. Just one word of caution, be very careful when you put this down, because when you put it down, it's resting on these exhaust pipes which are plastic. So when you put it down very gently. It's very difficult to store actually, because if you put it that way up, you get the fuel neck. Well, no, you don't actually. That's better. If you put it that way up, it's better to keep it that way up. Otherwise, we're going to be breaking those exhausts off, I fear. So storage is going to be an issue with this one. Well, not an issue, it's just going to be a concern. So here we have the pack. So what have we got in here? Cut the top of the bag off. So we've got, go way back, you are no longer required. So we've got the actual floor section itself, that's good. There's going to be a speaker in there, look. We're going to be putting a speaker in there under the seat. We've got that prop shaft protector there, so we've got some DS12 screws, we've got some more DSO2s, we've got some PSO1s, and we've got our two little handbrake cable retainers. So we'll cut those up, cut that back up and get them out. There we go. Right, we'll get the magazine out of the way as we usually do, and we'll get the light on for you. Okay, so I'm checking all the parts. Yes, we have got everything there. Yes, everything is here, so that's good. So the first thing to do is to grab this floor section, and in this hole here, you can see it's a little keyhole shaped hole, we are going to fit a handbrake cable retainer. And that is going to go, okay, these are handed. Okay, so they're showing you that this one is the right. Okay, they're handed. As you can see, they're different. They're hollow. Yeah. So they're showing you this one is the right. In the magazine, they're showing you this one is the one with the hollow. So when that little lug is pointing to the right, the hollowed out section should be in front of you. In fact, I've just noticed it's got an R on it in their picture. Okay, I was wrong. This one is the right. Okay, so this one is the right. So yeah, I had it the wrong way around. So with this hole here facing to the right and that lug facing to the right, that should be in front of you with the R showing. So we can fit this into here, so it's this way round. So this is going to go in there like that. Okay, and it's going to be screwed in from this side, so it doesn't need to be glued or anything, which is cool. I'm just checking that is correct. Yes, it is. And then we're going to take a PS01 screw. We've got 5 of those, so clearly we're only going to use 4. I've got my small screwdriver. I'm going to get that stuck on the end of there. And then we can get that into there. There we are. Job done. Same on the other side. Get that one in there. And that one's not such a tight fit, so that one's just going to keep falling out. So we'll get our screwdriver prepared, loaded with a screw. Get that one in. Oops. Get that one in there. And then we'll get a screw into that side. Just screw the screw in, guys, just until it stops. Don't try and over tighten it because you'll rip the threads out of the plastic. So there we are. So that's that. Okay, so we have to be careful putting that down because they're going to be protruding. So that's those done. Now the next step is place the drive shaft protection plate 30B on the end of the semicircular cavity of the central chassis. Observe the mounting direction. The plate should be fitted to the chassis on the semicircular side so that it's fully seated as shown in the picture. Place the plate in position and fix it to the chassis with the 2 PSO1 screws as shown in the 2 circular photos. So this is going to go this way. So you can see on this part, one side is hollow and one side has a wall. Okay, it's going to go that way round. In fact, what they've done, I don't think they've mentioned it in the instructions, there is actually a little key on there. You can see there's a tab on that one, and that one's just a plain circle, and this one has a keyhole, and that one doesn't. So it just shows, can you fit it the wrong way around? Yes, you can. So be careful. The closed out bit goes at the back. And then with our small screwdriver, we can take that and screw that into there, just like so. And as we always do, because we've got more than one screw, we don't tighten anything up until it's all together. And there we go. That's that in there, that's our drive shaft protector. So we've got another spare screw there, so we've got a spare screw there, a spare screw there. Save all the spare screws, guys, it's worth it. Don't throw them away, you may need them. And as we saw with the, I can't remember what I was doing now, but something was very loose, so I replaced the screw. I think it was in that tailpipe, wasn't it, in that fuel tank? I can't remember now. So I replaced the screw with something larger, so always worth remembering. So coming down to here, retrieve the chassis assembly you worked on in issue 29. Identify the attachment points that you will use to join the central chassis to the intermediate rear chassis area, this piece here. Place the central chassis on top of the assembly so it fits in the recess in the intermediate chassis as shown in the picture below. So we're going to take our floor. Okay, I'm going to place it like that, just like it is in the instructions. So you can see here, the instructions, they're showing you that, and I've got it that way round. I'm going to put something under that fuel tank to stop us putting weight on those exhausts. Okay, because when we start pushing down the screwdriver. Now, if you remember from step 29, I've tapped all these holes with an M2.3 tap. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so all those holes there are tapped with an M2.3 tap. So I'm going to place this on here. Those raised areas are going to sit down in these lugs. Okay, so we've got something is stopping it going down there. What's that? Is that? Looks like that handbrake cable thingy is holding it out. There we go. Okay, so that's gone down over there, that's gone down over there. You make sure they all go down over the, you see the threaded parts. I'll just take this off and show you. These threaded areas here that I've tapped, they're all raised and they're designed to fit inside these holes. Okay, so it's designed to go down over them. It doesn't just sit on top. It doesn't just sit like that. It goes down over. Same with these here, they're going down over. Make sure the whole lot goes down over. And as I say, put something under that fuel tank because you'll be pushing down and you'll snap those exhausts off. So be very careful. So we've got DSO2 screws here. Okay. And we have DS12 screws. So the fact they're D means they're die cast, so they're all going into metal, which is why I've tapped all those threads. So you'll never see me launching them in. So we're going to take a DSO2 screw, turn the page in the book, and what they're telling us to do, fix the two parts of the chassis together with the 3 DSO2 screws at the top, 4 more in the middle, and 2 DS12s at the bottom. So we've got 3 screws here, so we'll put one in the middle. As you can see, these going really easy because I've cut the threads. I just keep repeating myself, I know. If you notice, I'm not tightening anything. Just putting them in a couple of turns. Just like so. Okay, and at the front we've got the 2 DS12 screws going in. And as usual with DeAgostini, we've got some spares. So they can go over there. So we'll go around, we'll start in the middle here. Just pull that down. Remember, you're screwing plastic to metal, guys, so just go in with the screwdriver till it stops and then pull it. And as I said in section 29, or in pack 29, that's why it's good to cut these threads, because you can feel the screw bottom out, whereas when you actually have to graunch them in, you can't necessarily feel. I'm just going to give those a little nip because I turn those cables, the cable clips. So there we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There we are. So there is our floor section all done. As I say, be very careful putting it down now because it's getting heavy. Although we've now got some support in those pipes, so you can afford to store it. But we don't want to start, putting it down like this and then pushing screws in and stuff, because as you can see, it's springy on those pipes. Well, we will snap them off. So there we go. So that has been pack 30, guys. So I hope you enjoyed that. I know it's not been very long, but pack 31 is also very short. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to call this a day for this one, and then we'll go and do. In fact, no. What we'll do is we'll do pack 31 now. Here we go. I'll get myself prepared. Again, guys, sorry for the confusion, but it's difficult to know how long stuff takes and what's going to be in everything until you've actually done it. So anyway, so here we are, pack 31, sorry. Forerunners of the SUV. These are the little sort of sports utility vehicles. They were sort of saloon cars, estate cars, whatever you want to call them, that were made into pickups rather than the big full-size pickups. You had the this one, you had the El Camino. What's this? Ford Ranchero, that's it. We've talked about the Ranchero before, haven't we? So there's the Ranchero, and there you can see there's an El Camino. That's a 1959 El Camino. What a beautiful car with the big wings and everything. There we go. Absolutely gorgeous. That's a 1960 model. And then moving on, Ford XR, affordable sports cars. I remember these well. Wish I still had one now. So there's an XR2. That was a little, I think it was a 1600 or the 1300 was the Super Sport. What did the XR2 I think was a 1600. You can tell the plastic wheel arches that made the arches rot out and everything. Special seats, special paint jobs, special bits and pieces on the bumpers. And then there's the later XR2i, which a friend of mine absolutely adores. So there we go. The Ford XR to appear with the Ford Fiesta created 981 and based on the Fiesta's first generation. Yeah, 1.6 litre engine. The earlier one was a 1300, and that was called the 1300 Super Sport. And then here we have the Mercury Cougar XR7G, beautiful looking car, big old American beast. And then there we've got an XR3. That was the that's actually not the first one, that's the second one. The first one had ordinary flat headlights. And then we've got the XR3i. So I think that the XR3i failed to make customers forget the previous generation rear drive Escort RS. It was a modest sports car with 105, yeah, nothing like a Mark II. But the first XR3 I think was actually the Mark III. This is actually the Mark IV Escort, this one. And there we go. So let's have a look at what we're going to do in this one. I think it's very, very simple, very quick. So as usual, we'll get the light on. We're not going to be using our chassis, which is still just there. So we've got metal parts rattling around, I can hear. So we can get all these parts out of here. Make sure the bag's empty. Just have a look at the contents. So we've got an actual differential cover there. We've got the axle there. And then we've got here, we've got some, what are these? PS11 screws. So we've got no thread cutting to do. You'll be glad to know. So we'll get these out. So obviously we're going to use two of them. We'll put one as a spare. So take the differential case cover 31B and place two PS11 screws inside it as shown. Okay. One screw in each of the posts that form the screw holes. Screw them into the post, but only so that they just fill the screw hole and do not over tighten them. I wonder what they mean by that. So get that in there. There's our screw holes. I'm assuming they mean just put them in a turn maybe two. just like that. I'm going to turn the page. What it's telling us to do now is place the differential case cover in position on the lower rear axle 31A. Fit the cover onto the axle so that the heads of the two screws are on the inside of the axle and the post housing the body of the screws rests in the two semicircular notches in the edge of the axle. So this is going that way up. Oh, okay. So it's quite straightforward. This is what lower part with the differential cover attached once this assembly is completed. So I'm trying to work out now. I'm guessing we come in here and tighten these screws now. Just, you know, just putting it out there, maybe. I don't know. Otherwise, this differential cover is just going to keep falling off. There we go, and I'm guessing, yeah, so that's just going to sit like that, and then when we actually put the top on, the top of the axle is going to trap it in place. So what you actually do with these is put them in until they stop. It says do not tighten, but there you go. So that's how that's designed, and then when we put the top on, it's just going to trap it. So for now, that's all going to be flopping about and falling apart. So there we go, that's our rear axle half built, so no doubt in 32 and 33 we'll be finishing it off. Thank you for watching, guys. I will see you all very soon. Bye for now.